How many of you have standards to uphold? Now you have to answer because I know that all of you have some sort of expectation to meet. At least I do. I believe that I have one of the strictest, if not the strictest rules and standards, as I'm second child, and there's just a lot expected from me because my parents see potential. Now, how many of you have siblings? Yeah, most of you, if not all of you, have siblings, older, younger, probably both. But I have both, and I say we all are drastically different despite being raised by the same parents and having more or less the same rules. That's my sister Bora. She is 2 years older than me. My brother Osgun, he is a year younger than me. My sister Sylvia, she's 14, and my brother Art, he is 7. Now, I don't want to compare myself to all my siblings because it's not fair to compare a 17-year-old to a 7-year-old, but I would like to compare myself to my sister and my brother Osgun. So, I say when I was a young child, I say that I was a perfect child for my parents. I had no way to contradict what they were saying, nor rebel in any way, because I didn't know any better. But me taking pictures with my family, I looked happy and I looked stereotypically perfect. My expectation was to be an angel. I needed to be the perfect little girl for my parents because how could I disrespect them? But perfection, I have 2 definitions for it. One is a Google definition and one is my own. The Google definition defines perfection as someone who's correct, excellent, and flawless. But me, I'm still working on my own, but currently it is a burdensome standard that becomes a personality. Now, I don't want to let that define my whole talk, but I think that this should just be kept in mind forever. So, these are a few pictures of myself. These are my said wrongdoings, recent wrongdoings. So, in that first picture, I took a picture with a Corvette. It had a Stake 22 license plate, and I thought it was funny, so I'm like, Bora, take a picture of me. It's so cute. Then the other one is of me with a Trans Am engine, and I really like cars, so I thought I would take a picture with it. And so I made a funny face, and my parents are like, "Oh, Rusha, don't do that. Don't make yourself look like that." I'm like, "Oh, but it's a nice car." The other one is me on my birthday. They were singing "Happy Birthday" to me, and in the middle of the video, I made that face, and they're like, "Rusha, why are you so upset?" I'm like, "I'm not. I was just resting a little bit." In that last one, I was breaking with my mom and my sister, and I decided to pull up my shirt and flex my abs. And my mom was like, "Rusha, put your shirt down. What are you doing?" But I'm like, it's fun to live a little, and that's like the most that I do. But I would like to compare it to my brother and what he does. So my brother, when he was like 12, he went fishing with my dad at a really nice stream or something like that, and I wasn't allowed to go because maybe my mom needed my help at home, and so I didn't get to go. But he took that nice photo and he has that nice picture to remember. This is him popping a wheelie on his dirt bike. I wasn't allowed to get a dirt bike because it's not ladylike. This is also him getting a really long fish, also known as a pike. But I wasn't allowed to go fishing, but he just left the house and went and caught that fish. But my favorite picture of all is what is that? He thought he was really cool taking that picture. And don't you guys agree? He's so cool. But how does that compare to my photographs? It doesn't. There's obviously a difference in the way that we are expected to act. But despite all that, I have this quote. In an article titled "Why Parents Expect So Much from Their Kids," author Alan Kazin says, "We also tend to parent subjectively, depending on the behavior bar, with a too small sample group drawn from personal experience, our own first child, a neighbor's child, or our own unreliable childhood memories from how our parents raised us." So, because I've shown that I can follow rules, my parents seem to hold a higher standard for me. My brother likes to rebel a little more, and so they are more lenient with what he does. So that's the difference between me and my brother, but I would like to compare myself to my sister. My sister isn't a wrongdoing kind of girl, but we are very similar as I look up to her from childhood. So that's her wheeling me around the house in my stroller, and then me with my chicken legs, and her with her killer calves. And I've always been by her side. I've never left her alone. She kind of looked at me as like a nuisance, but there was a point where my parents would be like, we'll throw her in the woods if you don't want her to follow you around anymore. And then she starts crying and being like, no, it's fine. She can follow me around. But these are two pictures of us in 2013 at the beach. I wanted to take a closer look and see when they were taken. As you can see, they were both taken on August 2013, but hers was taken at 3:46 p.m. and mine was taken at 3:45, 1 minute later. My mom goes, Bora, come and take a picture. I think you look really good. She takes a picture, and then I'm like, but I want a picture too. So I go and I take that picture. So that, I just wanted to highlight that everything that she did, I had to do also. So when you look at sports, my sister Bora started playing basketball before I did. She started at like 7. Then I decided to play basketball too because I thought it was cool that she was playing it. So I'm like, oh, I must play too. Same goes with swimming. She started swimming, I started swimming, and then I thought we were the iconic duo. But really, she saw me as like she was dragging me around. I couldn't get off her back, but I still plan to keep doing that, just to know her a little bit. But she got the high honor roll, I needed the high honor roll because I can't let her one-up me. I feel it as like my duty as the child after her first sibling to one-up her. So she was recently put on the president's and honors list for her college, dean's list or whatever, and won a certificate for her writing. She won, not a certificate, a check for $250. So I plan to have some sort of the same achievement because I can't let her have that and then me not be able to say I have it too. I know it's a little like, oh, but it's what I have to do. In this next quote, it says, where is it? Expectations communicate to our children that what they do is important and it matters a lot. So parents like set unrealistic standards for children, and I get it because it's supposed to like children reflect off of their own morals and how they teach their children. So I understand that my parents want me to be perfect, but it's also unrealistic as even one little slip up will cause a little riot, I guess. In this other article, What Does It Mean to Be Mature? Author Benita Nugina mentions each of us has a responsibility to attain maturity and self-awareness as we grow up. Some mature early in life, others never mature, even as they age. Yes, maturity is not a natural consequence of growing up. Age cannot guarantee maturity. So usually, the older people are, the more mature you think they are, because age and maturity are synonymous. But really, I would say perfection or wanting to be perfect really connects more with being mature, as when somebody wants to be perfect, they will go to all extents to try to be in the spotlight or without any flaw. So when somebody tries to be perfect. They will most likely mature at that same time. So this is a photograph about somebody else's dad who wrote them a to-do list of expectations for them, and I think I coincide with that really nicely, as my parents have the same expectations for me. They all want me to do the best things, do as much as I can, and I just try to live up to it, although they are unrealistic and most of the time unattainable. Overall, expectations and perfectionism is overrated, as in the long run, the satisfaction is short-lived and it's just hard to attain. That's it.